Hi everyone, Dr. Remy from Pain Free and Fit and Posture Size. Today we've got a great video for those of you with spondylolisthesis of the lower back. We're going to be talking about arm swing while you're walking and how it can help or irritate your lower back pain. Hope you enjoy. So today we're going to be talking about, as you walk, the effect that arm swing has on your lower back pain, particularly for spondylolisthesis. The tips I'm going to share with you today are right out of my new book that's coming out this spring 2020 on low back pain for spondylolisthesis, degenerative disc stenosis, called walkaway back pain. With spondylolisthesis, remember, the segment of the spine has translated forward, and this creates a lot of compression on the back of the spine, creates irritation of the facet joints, the posterior or back portion of the disc fibers, and also many times the sacroiliac joints, which are the connection between your pelvic bone and the sacrum at the base of the spine, those sacroiliac joints. When we increase our speed with walking, as is recommended by a lot of physical therapists and doctors to help with lower back pain, because many physicians and therapists feel that as we increase speed, we seem to do better with lower back pain, we have to keep a few things in mind. As we increase speed of our walking, our arm swing amplitude or distance that our arms travel actually increases. When we walk slowly, the arms don't travel as much, but when we walk faster, they start increasing their length, especially as the arm comes behind you, even more so than going forward. With that increased length or distance that your arm is moving behind you, you wind up contracting your lat muscle, latissimus dorsi, that runs from your shoulder to your lower back, and your opposite buttock or glute muscle more. Increased speed means these muscle activity in these two muscles are going to be greater. If you've seen any of our other videos on spondylolisthesis, you know that when the lat contracts, it has a tendency to overarch the lower back because of its attachments. So while you're walking, if you do increase speed, make sure you counteract this effect of increasing the arch of your back by tucking your tailbone slightly under and using some abdominal tension to hunch the front portion of your rib cage slightly down. Again, if you don't know what your RPI is, which is your reverse posture isometric, go to either the Posture Size or the painfreeandfit.com website. We have a free body analysis. It tells you about your unique mechanics and what positions you need to put your spine and all your stabilizing muscles in. But let's say that you've got your RPI set. Once you do, maintain a little bit more tail under tension. It doesn't mean you have to move the tail under more, but you want to hold it so it prevents it from raising upwards as you increase the speed of your walk and the distance that arm is traveling back in what we call shoulder extension. Now, it's not that increased speed is necessarily bad for spondylo if you do these things, because it also increases the strength of the stabilizing strap in your body. In the spine, the lat muscle, as it comes down diagonally and attaches to the opposite buttock, has a cross effect where it stabilizes or holds the spine. So by increasing the speed of your walking and increasing the strength or the muscle activity of lat and glute max muscle every time we push one arm back and its opposite leg back, if you keep your core and RPI contractions on, that's actually going to strengthen your stabilizing stability to hold your spine in a proper neutral spine position, which again is unique for every person. If you don't know what that is, again, check out those websites, that free body analysis, learn how to engage a neutral spine for your unique body. And it also stabilizes not only the spondylolisthesis segment across the spine, but the sacroiliac joints. So walking quickly will actually help to stabilize your lower back. Now, there's another thing we need to keep in mind with spondylo in terms of where your spondylolisthesis is while walking. If you have a lower spondylolisthesis, like an L4 or L5 at the base of your spine, realize that as your speed increases, so does the vertical force on your spine and the horizontal force on your spine. Now, the horizontal force is very important for those of us with spondylolisthesis, because if you have a lower lumbar or lower segment like L4, L5 spondylolisthesis, those segments are going to be more likely to be forced forward at higher speeds. But conversely, if you have a spondylolisthesis higher up in your lower back, an L2 and L1, a T12 spondylolisthesis, those segments with increased speed will actually have a tendency to move backwards, what we call retroversion on that horizontal plane. So knowing where your spondyle is going to affect how you walk in your mechanics. So specifically, if you have a higher spondylolisthesis segment walking faster without any additional mechanical correction besides the tail under ab tension is actually going to be good for you. It's going to help to drive that forward spondylolisthesis segment slightly backwards mechanically. It's going to pull it back. But conversely, if you have a lower segment, which is what most people have, L4 spondylolisthesis, L5, S1 spondylolisthesis, those segments naturally, as you increase the force of the glute and the lat muscle and the speed of walking, those segments want to actually slide further forward. That could irritate your pain. That's into the direction of the problem for spondylolisthesis. So to counteract that, we're going to use a technique that we've taught before on our channel, which is once you have the tail under to a comfortable degree, you tense the tailbone back upwards as if you're trying to arch the back. Now remember I said tense, not move, because if you actually move the tailbone up and increase the arch in your back, it could irritate your spondylolisthesis segment. But once you get the tail under to a comfortable degree of that neutral spine, you're simply tensing it back upwards without actually moving it. That tension recruits the deep fibers of the longissimus muscle, iliocostalis muscle, which are muscles of the erector spinae group in your lower back. And if you remember from some of our previous videos we've talked about with spondylo, those fibers have a tendency to pull the spondylolisthesis segment back. They halt it from sliding forward. So that's your counteracting safe protective force when increasing speed. So for those of you with a lower L4 or 5 spondylolisthesis, even though you have tailbone under slightly and have tension, there's a little counter additional tension of the tail up. So you have both abdominal and back muscles working simultaneously. That will help to stabilize that spondylolisthesis segment to avoid aggravation as you increase your speed of walking, as you're increasing your glute and lat activity, and as you're working on helping to stabilize your lower back. If you'd like to help me share this valuable information with others, give me a thumbs up below. Questions or comments, write in. I'll do my best to try to answer them. And remember, if you're looking for a great program to help stabilize your spondylolisthesis lower back pain, look no further than the painfreeandfit.com website for our fast track program for spondylolisthesis. It teaches you all the stretches, strengthening exercises, stabilization, analysis, everything you need to self-rehab your spondylolisthesis pain and get you active again without aggravating yourself. As I said before, we also have our great new upcoming book, Walk Away Back Pain, coming out in spring 2020. It's got all the exercises as you walk, all different types of mechanical corrections to help stabilize your spine, help to decrease your lower back pain. That's going to be available at the painfreeandfit.com website also. I hope this video on arm swing with walking helps you with your spondylolisthesis lower back pain.